Have you ever felt something extraordinary is within your reach, but you don't know how to grasp it? Jesus came down from the mountain, followed by a crowd hungry for hope. A leper, scarred by pain and rejection, dared to approach. He knelt and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Imagine the courage of this man, facing social stigma, asking for a miracle. Jesus, with a forbidden touch, replied, "I am willing. Be clean." In that moment, the leprosy vanished. What would you ask Jesus for today if you had the chance? This story isn't just about healing. It's about boldness and faith. The leper had nothing to lose, only everything to gain. He believed despite all odds. Think of Clara, who faced shame to ask for help in a personal crisis. When she acted in faith, her life changed completely. Jesus teaches us that true faith starts with a courageous step. What step are you putting off right now? What if you could be touched by this same transformative power? Jesus didn't just see a leper. He saw a human worthy of love. How many times have you felt rejected or unworthy? This story is an invitation to believe you too can be restored. Jesus' touch doesn't discriminate, it transforms. What's holding you back from seeking this change today? Believe. The power is closer than you think. Soon after, a Roman centurion, an outsider, approached Jesus. He pleaded for his servant, suffering at home, paralyzed and in pain. With humility, he said, "Lord, I am not worthy to have you come under my roof, but say the word, and he will be healed." Imagine the strength of that faith. Jesus marveled, saying he had never seen such trust, not even in Israel. Have you ever trusted something so much it moved the impossible? The centurion's faith is a wake-up call. He didn't need rituals or Jesus' physical presence. He believed in the power of a word. Think of a time you trusted blindly in something or someone, maybe a risky decision at work or a leap of faith in a dream. The centurion shows us that true faith doesn't require proof, only trust. Do you have that boldness to believe like this? But beware, not everyone understands this power. Jesus warned that many will be surprised in the end. Some who thought they had it all secured will be left out, while others, unexpected, will be welcomed. It's like a party where the least expected guests shine. Who do you think deserves a seat at Jesus' table? What if it's you? Does that make you rethink your choices? The story continues as Jesus entered Peter's house. There he saw Peter's mother-in-law bedridden, burning with fever. With a simple touch, the fever vanished, and she got up to serve. Imagine the impact of that moment. A woman sick, now full of life, serving with gratitude. How many times have you felt bedridden by problems? Jesus shows us that one touch can change everything. That same night, they brought many demon-possessed people to Jesus with a word. He drove out the spirits and healed the sick. This fulfilled Isaiah's prophecy. He took up our infirmities. Think of the weight Jesus carried out of love. Have you ever felt relief that seemed impossible? This story reminds us that no burden is too heavy for him. What do you need to surrender today? But the crowd kept growing, and Jesus needed space. He ordered them to cross to the other side of the sea. A scribe approached, promising to follow him at any cost. Jesus replied, "The Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." This is a warning. Following Jesus requires sacrifice. Are you willing to give up comforts for something greater? Think carefully, because time is short. A disciple asked to first bury his father. Jesus replied, "Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead." It sounds harsh, but it's a call to urgency. Life passes quickly, and Jesus' call doesn't wait. How many times have you delayed a dream out of fear or duty? This story challenges you to act now. What will you choose today? When Jesus got into the boat with his disciples, the sea was calm, but a furious storm arose, with waves covering the boat. While the disciples panicked, Jesus slept peacefully. Imagine their desperation. They cried, "Lord, save us, we're perishing." Have you ever faced a storm in life that made you feel this way? Jesus stood up and, with a word, calmed the sea. The disciples were amazed, asking, "Who is this that even the winds and sea obey him?" This moment shows Jesus' power over chaos. Think of a situation where everything seemed to crumble. Jesus teaches us that, even in the worst storms, there is hope. Do you believe he can calm your storms? Have you ever faced a fear that seemed bigger than you? When Jesus reached the other side of the sea, two fierce demon-possessed men confronted him.
Ow.
They were so dangerous that no one could pass that way. But they recognized Jesus, shouting, "Son of God, have you come to torment us?" Imagine Jesus' power, feared even by demons. He didn't back down, but acted with authority. Have you ever faced something that seemed impossible? The demons begged to enter a herd of pigs. Jesus said one word, "Go," and the herd rushed into the sea, drowning. The herdsmen fled, spreading the news. Imagine the city's shock. This miracle shows Jesus' power over the darkest forces. What in your life seems impossible to overcome? Jesus can change that. But not everyone welcomed Jesus. The whole city asked him to leave. They chose comfort over the unknown, even after a miracle. How many times have you rejected change out of fear? This story challenges us to embrace transformative power, even when it scares us. Are you ready to let Jesus work in your life? Think of Anna, who faced a crushing financial crisis. She was afraid to ask for help, but inspired by the centurion's faith, she took courage. When she acted, doors opened. Jesus teaches us that faith requires action, even when fear screams louder. What fear do you need to face today? The time to act is now. Back to the leper. His healing wasn't just physical, but spiritual. He was restored to society, to life. Jesus asked him not to tell anyone, but to show himself to the priest. Why? To prove the miracle was real. How many times have you seen a change so big it needed confirmation? Jesus shows us that true transformation is visible. The centurion also teaches us about authority. He understood Jesus' power because he knew orders. When he said go, his soldiers obeyed. Jesus praised this faith, showing that absolute trust makes miracles happen. Have you ever trusted something greater than yourself? That faith can change everything? And Peter's mother-in-law? Her miracle was simple but powerful. One touch from Jesus, and she was up, serving. Think of a time you felt renewed after a problem. Jesus shows us that every healing, no matter how small, has a greater purpose. How can you use your restoration to help others? The crowd brought demon-possessed people at night, and Jesus healed them all. He didn't choose who to help. He acted with love. Imagine the impact. People living in darkness, now free. Many burdens do you carry that Jesus could lift? This story is an invitation to surrender your struggles to him. Why wait any longer? But following Jesus isn't easy. The scribe promised to follow him, but Jesus warned about the sacrifice. With no place to rest, Jesus lived for his mission. Have you ever given up something for a greater purpose? That choice requires courage but leads to a meaningful life. What are you willing to sacrifice? The disciple who wanted to bury his father heard a tough response. Jesus prioritized the call above all. This reminds us that time is scarce. How many opportunities have you missed by delaying? Jesus calls us to act now, before it's too late. What's the call you're ignoring? What if you could calm your inner storms? Jesus' calm in the boat teaches us that he's in control even when all seems lost. Think of a crisis that shook you. Jesus shows us that faith can bring peace to chaos. Do you believe he can calm your life? Here's a special invitation. If you're loving this story, drop a comment below. Share what you think or tell me about an experience you've had. When I see your comment, I'll be thrilled because I know we love these transformative stories, and I'll leave a little heart on your comment. Now that you've commented, let's keep going. Have you ever felt you're one step away from a major breakthrough? Jesus showed that true faith makes miracles happen. The leper believed and was healed. The centurion trusted and saw his servant saved. Each story challenges us to believe in the impossible. Think of a time your faith changed something. Jesus teaches us that faith is the key to unlocking doors. What door do you need to open today? The healing of Peter's mother-in-law was an intimate miracle. One touch, and she was up, serving. Imagine her gratitude. How many times have you been restored from something that brought you down? Jesus shows us that every miracle, big or small, has a purpose. How can you use your restoration to impact others? The time to act is now. When Jesus healed the demon-possessed at night, he didn't stop to choose. He helped everyone, fulfilling Isaiah's prophecy. This reminds us that Jesus carries our burdens. Think of a weight you're carrying today. It could be fear, guilt, or pain. Jesus is ready to take it away. Why not surrender it now? But following Jesus requires more than just believing. The scribe wanted to follow him, but Jesus warned about the cost. With no place to rest, Jesus lived for his mission. Have you ever faced a moment where you had to choose between comfort and purpose? That choice defines who you are. What do you choose today? The disciple who wanted to bury his father heard an urgent call. Jesus said, "Follow me." It sounds harsh, but it's a reminder. Time is limited. How many times have you put off something important? Jesus challenges us to prioritize what truly matters. What's the call you're ignoring? Don't wait any longer. In the boat, the disciples faced a terrifying storm. They cried out for help, and Jesus calmed the sea. This miracle shows he has power over chaos. Think of a storm in your life, a problem that seems insurmountable. Jesus teaches us that faith can bring peace. Do you believe he can calm your chaos? The demon-possessed men in Gergesenes were feared by all, but Jesus freed them with a word. Even the demons obeyed him. Imagine that power. How many demons, fears, addictions, doubts do you face? Jesus shows us that nothing is too big for him. What do you need to set free today? The city rejected Jesus after the miracle with the pigs. They chose fear over transformation. How many times have you avoided change because of the unknown? Jesus challenges us to embrace his power, even when it scares us. Are you ready to let him act? The moment is now. Think of John, who battled an addiction for years. Inspired by the centurion's faith, he sought help and changed his life. Every miracle of Jesus shows that transformation is possible. What area of your life needs a miracle? Jesus teaches us that faith is the first step. Are you ready to take it? The crowd followed Jesus because they saw his power. But he didn't seek fame. He sought to transform lives. Think of someone who inspired you to be better. Jesus calls us to follow his example, living with purpose. How can you inspire others today? The impact starts with you. Every miracle of Jesus is a call to action. The leper acted. The centurion trusted. The disciples cried for help. All received answers. Is how many times have you hesitated to ask for help? Jesus teaches us that faith requires courage but brings results. What will you ask for today? Now a special request. If you're enjoying this video, subscribe to the channel. Your subscription helps us keep sharing these transformative messages. Just click the button below and you'll be part of this incredible journey. Already subscribed. Let's keep going. We've reached the most powerful moment. Jesus transformed lives with a touch, a word, a presence. Each miracle challenges us to believe in the impossible. The leper was healed, the servant saved, the storm calmed. Think of the impact. Jesus shows us that no problem is too big. What in your life needs a miracle today? The leper teaches us about boldness. He asked for healing, despite being rejected by all. Imagine his courage. How many times have you avoided asking for help out of fear? Jesus calls us to be bold, to believe he can transform. What's the request you're holding back? The time to act is now. The centurion shows us the power of trust. He believed in Jesus' word without needing proof. Think of a time you trusted blindly in something. Did that faith move mountains? Jesus teaches us that true trust makes miracles happen. Do you have that faith today? Peter's mother-in-law, healed with a touch, got up to serve. This miracle reminds us that restoration has a purpose. How many times have you been restored and used it to help others? Jesus calls us to turn our healing into action. How can you serve today? The demon-possessed were freed with a word. Jesus showed power over darkness. Think of the demons you face: fear, doubt, pain. Jesus teaches us that nothing is greater than him. What do you need to surrender to him today? He's waiting for your request. The storm at sea was calmed with a command. The disciples, full of fear, saw Jesus' power. How many storms are you facing now? Jesus shows us that faith brings peace to chaos. Do you believe he can calm your life? The first step is to trust. The city that rejected Jesus teaches us about choices. They chose comfort over miracles. How many times have you chosen fear over change? Jesus challenges us to embrace his power, even when it scares us. Are you ready to let him act? Don't wait any longer. Think of Mary, who overcame depression after being inspired by the leper's story. She asked for help and found hope. Every miracle of Jesus is an invitation to transform your life. What area of your life needs hope? Jesus is ready to touch you. Will you let him? Following Jesus requires sacrifice, as he warned the scribe. There's no guaranteed comfort, but there's purpose. How many times have you delayed a dream for safety? Jesus calls us to live with courage. What are you willing to give up to follow his call? The urgency of Jesus' call is clear. He told the disciple, "Let the dead bury their dead." Life is short, and the time is now. How many opportunities have you missed by hesitating? Jesus challenges us to act before it's too late. What's the next step you'll take? It's now a special request. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Your like helps us reach more people with these transformative messages. Just click the like button, and you're already part of this mission. Spread this message together. And before we wrap up, I'd love for you to leave a comment. If you watched this far, share what you thought or how these lessons touched you. When I see your comment, I'll leave a little heart because I know we're on this journey together. Thank you for being here, for joining this transformation. See you in the next video.